Georgia in warmly welcoming you to the 7th Mayors in Action webinar, focusing this time on the topic of sustainable transport and sustainable mobility in cities and towns. My name is Patrycja Płonka and I'm project manager at the Association of Municipalities Polish Network Energy Cities, which is also a partner in the Mayors in Action project. But today I will not speak much, just facilitate the discussion after the 4 very interesting presentations on how our model cities deal with the problem of increasing traffic density and its impact on the environment and on the human health. As we all know, the transport sector is responsible for significant amounts of CO2 emissions, which contributes to the climate change, but also for the emissions of so-called low emissions of pollutants like solid particulates, which are especially bothersome for the citizens. In some Polish cities, and I believe that also not in Polish ones, in winter it is sometimes literally hard to breathe because of the bad air quality which is caused by transport combined with individual boiler houses. So there is a need to act on the transport sector and to make sure that transport and mobility patterns are becoming more and more sustainable. Of course, this is not an easy task, but there are already some examples of European cities who developed and implemented many model measures aiming, first of all, at increasing efficiency, accessibility, and quality of public transport. Second of all, at optimizing the transport flow within the city. And the third of all, changing mobility patterns of the citizens, encouraging them to use more sustainable means of transport. And here today there are with us representatives of 2 such cities who are working on these issues for quite a long time. It's Gdynia from Poland and Zagreb from Croatia, who will now share their experience with you. The first presentation will be done by Mrs. Monika Ziemska from the Municipality of Gdynia, who will tell you a little bit more about the TRISTAR project, which aimed at rationalizing road traffic within the 3-city conurbation. So now, Monika, please, the floor is yours.
Okay, so welcome everyone. My name is Monika Ziemska and I'm one of the traffic engineer in Gdynia Traffic and Control Center. I would like to show you a short presentation about TRISTAR. TRISTAR is one of the intelligent transportation systems in Poland. Okay, so let's start. First, a little bit about the history. Our first idea of using intelligent transportation system was created in 2002. It was the idea about the Tri-City concept of integrating traffic management system TRISTAR for the city of Gdynia and the Tri-City bypass. In 2005, we started the pilot project traffic control system SCATS at 10 intersection in Gdynia along Morska Street. It's one of the main streets in our city. So in 2006, it was signing of the agreement between Mayors of Gdańsk and Gdynia, take a step in funds to build the system. In 2007, there was a first concept about TRISTAR. It was about system architecture, location on devices. From 2008 to 2009, it was a developing construction project, and 2011-2012, obtaining financing and development of tender documentation. And finally, from 2012 to 2015, it was the time when the implementation of system was start and end. So as you can see, it takes us about 13 years to create a system in our city. So as you can see at that small picture, on the blue one, you can see places where the TRISTAR is in Gdańsk. On the red line is the Sopot area, and on the green one is Gdynia. So if we want to talk about the numbers in TRISTAR, so the project starts in 2011, like I told you before, and the foundation was about 85% from European Union. We've got 148 kilometers of fiber optic connections, 161 integrations with traffic lights, 73 video surveillance cameras, 61 points of ANPR cameras. ANPR, it means automatic number plate recognition cameras, 36 dynamic parking information signs, 34 passengers information boards, 22 Bluetooth Wi-Fi scanners, and 19 variable message boards, 16 trip planners, 14 weather stations, and 7 variable message signs. Now I would like to tell you a little bit more about TRISTAR only in Gdynia, not in Tri-City. So what about our structure? As you can see, TRISTAR structure management level is divided into 4 major groups. First of them is the urban traffic management system, and the things which is connected with that is traffic control system, monitoring and traffic surveillance system, video surveillance system, weather parameters, measurement system, traffic safety management system, also advanced traveler information system, parking guide system. Next one is the personal information access. Third one is the passport planning system, which is connected with multimodal transport system model. In Gdynia, we are using the PTV groups program like Visum and Visum micro and macro modeling. And the last one is public transport management system, which is divided into passenger information and public transport vehicles management. Okay, so now let's talk about the main things about the TRISTAR, which is connected with each other and gets information to the one database. So first is monitoring and traffic surveillance system. The things we are connected with that is, like I told you before, is ANPR cameras. So we've got the travel times from that cameras, we've got the weather station, we've got the traffic measurement station, also intersection, which are adding induction loops, so we also counting the cars, we know where they're going. Next one is traffic control system. Now in our system in Tri-City, we've got a 160 intersection. In Gdynia, it's only 70 of them. In whole Gdynia, we've got about 100 intersections, but 70 of them is in the TRISTAR system. So I think it's a really good mark. About 70% of intersection in our system is a good number. So all of them is connected with the system with EPIX and balance. EPIX is the optimization of microscopic, focus 1 minute. So we've got possibility to change the number of the weight of the green light on the each intersection, and the balance is the system is much more higher. So the optimization is about in macroscopic, and we've got the focus about from 5 to 15 minutes, and balance is really connected with the every intersection in one line. It coordinates all of them. We've got also a center when I work every day. So it's a traffic management center in Gdynia. As you can see, we've got the whole wall when we've got 31 CCTV cameras, and also we've got 6 desks for the operator of that system. All information from that CCTV cameras is on our database for 30 years. So it's really useful tools for the institution like TROLLEYS. For example, they're calling to us and ask about review of that movie, what was recorded, because it's really useful for them to identify some cars or some person. All information is on our website. We've got www.tristar.gdynia.com, and if you're preparing your journey, you can check on the internet what are the weather condition or what is the traffic condition on the roads. Next is ATIS. It does mean Advanced Traveler Information System, and we are using the variable message board and variable message sign. The difference between that two signs is that on the boards we show the information about the time, how long it takes you to go from one place to other, from Gdynia to Gdańsk, and that board is located in special place in Gdynia when you can change your decision about the traveling. For example, if you are going to Gdańsk and would like to use the bypass of Tri-City, it takes you, for example, 25 minutes, and if you would like to going by city network, you go in 35 minutes. So now we can decide which road will be better. And also on that board, we could write any useful information for drivers. For example, if accidents is on the road, we can also write down accidents is on the road, for example, Morska Street. Try to use better one, for example, Kolońska Street, so the drivers get information before they're going through some congestion or something like this. Virtual message signs is really connected with the weather station. For example, if the weather condition is really, really bad, we can change the speed limit. For example, every day you're going the road and there is a 50 km/h, and if, for example, there is a really strong wind, we can reduce the speed limit to the 13 kilometers or 40 km/h. It's also really useful because a lot of drivers don't know why they have to going some slow from other parts. So if we put the message, for example, strong wind, so they know, oh, there's really strong wind there, I have to going some slow there. Next one is about parking guidance system. In Gdynia, we've got 4 park cards. So now drivers know how many free places is on each car park of there, and it's really useful for Gdynia because, as you know, maybe Gdynia is really a touristic place, and in the summer we've got a lot of drivers who are going around the city and watching for empty place to leave the car. So before they're going to the city, they know which car park is already empty or is already full. Next is the public transport passengers information system. We've got the information board to the public transporter, and on that board is showing the time when the bus will come to the bus stop. It's also that time connected with the delays. So it's not the schedule of that bus, but is connected with delays, and also all that information is also on the website. So, for example, we are going to go somewhere by bus, so we can check in your home if that bus is on time or will be delayed. And we've got also in whole Tri-City about 22 terminals for passenger information. This is a small computers. It's located in the most popular places in Tri-City. For example, you don't have your mobile phone with you, or you don't have internet access. So you can go to that terminals for passenger information and check what will be the best route for you to go somewhere. You've got there also all information about the weather, about the traffic conditions. Public transport vehicle management system. As you can see, there is the application when we've got the map with all of the lines with the buses. We know exactly from GPS where exactly every car is. Well, every bus is, yes. Also, every bus got 745 buses got a computer inside, and it's really useful because we can send to the driver a message. For example, there is a congestion, change your road, and driver of that bus know where exactly you would like to go. And the last one is the benefits from the implementation of the system. I think the most one is the ability to manage real-time traffic, because like me, I'm a traffic engineer, so I can change anything from the one computer. In the past, I have to go somewhere into the intersection and change it on the road, and now I've got only one small computer, and I have the possibility to change everything from one place, even from home. Next one is shortening the travel time, because as you know, we manage the traffic, we use that epic system, so the travel time was short. And the last one is improving traffic flow, decrease the number of arrests, the decline of the emissions, because we would like to reduce the stops before intersection. We'd like to get the real good flow going through the city, so also that emissions is reduced. And the last one is improving the information system from the public transport. Because in the past, the travelers who want to go to buy bus somewhere don't have possibility to know about the lights, so they have to wait to the bus and don't know what's going on. And now we have possibility to give them information before they go somewhere. So yes, so thank you for your attention, and if you've got any questions, so I'm here. Thank you.
Okay, so now I guess it's my turn.
Just maybe some more time for any questions if a person has for Monika. Monika, first of all, thank you very much for this very interesting presentation. As we can see, implementation of integrated traffic management systems can really bring a lot of benefits, especially in cities like Gdynia, which are the touristic places, so the traffic flows are different over the different periods. But also what is very interesting for me is the cooperation between the three neighboring cities on implementation of the system. So this is also, let's say, a lesson learned, something important for everybody to understand that the transport system is not something that is closed within one municipality, but that is connected with also other regions, and we have to work together. But as I said before, we have some 5 minutes maybe for any questions that the participants may have for Monika. So if you have any questions, you can either, as Georgia said, raise hand on the right side, and then Georgia will give you a floor, or you can just use chat and write your questions if you don't want to speak. Okay, I can see that there is a question or a comment from Darinka. So
it's actually an applause.
Applause, yes.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. So are there any questions now?
At the moment, I don't see any comments in the chat and no hands raised.
Okay. Okay, so I think
there is also another applause from Mariano Reano, one of the participants.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mariano.
Okay, so you can of course always take your time and ask your questions later. The speakers will be there during the whole webinar time. And now I would like to then announce another speaker, Karolina Marszałkowska, also from the Municipality of Gdynia, who will present another interesting project, the Segment project, which is about persuading people to adopt more energy efficient forms of transport. So Karolina, the floor is yours. 1 second, I will just pass the ball. Yeah.
Okay. So I would like to tell you some facts, basic facts, and present you our project that is already finished. But some of its elements are still alive, and we are implementing it and developing it, even though the project has ended in 2013. So I will tell you something about the using of market segmentation in the design and implementation of marketing campaigns on the example of the Segment project itself. Well, the most important fact is that the project was co-funded by the Intelligent Energy Europe program as a promotion and dissemination project. It was realized in 2010 and 2013, so it lasted 3 years. We had a really diversity of partners such as Almeida, Athens, Sofia, Utrecht, Munich, and an Aberdeen University as an expert partner, and EPOM as a dissemination partner. And what was the main objective of the project? The main objective was to encourage the target groups that were specifically chosen by the city to change their negative travel behavior and motivate them to use more sustainable and energy efficient means of transport in their everyday life. So we try to use market segmentation technique in order to be able to design and implement a campaign specifically targeted to those people. And the market segmentation itself started with the identification of the transportation habits, then distinguishing those transportation habits from the transportation behavior, because sometimes it may be a difference in those two. What was also very significant in this project was that we identified groups in the turning point in their life. And the turning points were, of course, different for each partner. I will come back to the topic later on. Then we used a marketing research with a marketing segmentation. Then we were able to design a marketing campaign, and finally implement a marketing campaign later on. What were the target groups for the segment project in our city? We used new pupils, so children who started primary school and the parents, because we know that this is a really important point in their life and somehow it can affect our travel behavior. We also used new employees, so the people that started already a new job. And we also used people that have a newborn baby and need to travel with the baby to the health center. And for the purposes of the project, the age of the child was from a newborn to a 1-year-old toddler. And the marketing research was started in December 2010. The questionnaires were prepared by the University of Aberdeen. They were really detailed, and as far as I remember, they have 15 pages of A4 size. So there were really very specific questions that the respondents needed to answer. And as a result of this, we could specify segments in the target groups. Because what is also specific for this project is that we use a double segmentation technique. It means that we had those 3 target groups, which I mentioned before. And this was the first stage of segmentation, and then we could cluster this in the most homogeneous groups, which I would come back later on. And you can see a number of questionnaires that were used in marketing research, quite satisfactory number, because over 500 in the new pupils, over 200 in people starting a new job, and over 400 in parents of infants. So quite satisfactory results. I guess I jumped a slide. Something is wrong. Sorry for that. Oh, some slides are missing. Why? Okay, so we will start with the some slides are cut out from the presentation. Okay, I'll try to move on. For the new pupils, we identified some segments as image conscious intenders, dissatisfied drivers, and car contemplators. And these segments were chosen regarding the segment size and the potential to change the transport habits. So not only the size, but also a potential was taken into account. And here is the slide presenting one of the actual campaign that was implemented, and it was called Walk Once a Week, because we discovered that those people are against public transport and they are against cycling, so the only option for them was to convince them to walk more and to use walking instead of a car in their everyday life journey to school. And of course, the best option was to use children and to persuade the parents to change their travel behavior. So a bottom-up approach was used. And the campaign was really successful, and this is the one that we are developing and we are realizing up till now. So it was really a success, and it is continued. But maybe I will just explain it better on the new workers. Here you can see the segments that were identified as a result of this marketing research, and as you can see, there are really diverse as practical travelers, active car owners, reluctant pragmatists, devoted drivers, and status seekers. There are also non-car owning segments as car contemplators, PT dependents, and car-free choosers. And among those, we selected status seekers, reluctant pragmatists, and car contemplators in order to implement a campaign for them. And here you can see pen pictures that we were preparing at the stage of designing the campaign. And this pen picture is presenting the most relevant features that are really affecting the campaign later on. So, for example, a status seeker is a person that really finds gadgets and prestige an important factor in his life, is willing to use a bike, so it is an option for us to use this in our campaign later on. Of course, it was quite similar with the reluctant pragmatist, but we could identify that he's against walking, and eco issues are not really important for him. And what we found out that during our campaign, they should feel happy, good about themselves when not driving a car. They should feel that they are fit enough to cycle. Also, they should feel safe while cycling and express themselves by cycling. So we should create somehow cycling as a status of a prestige in their eye. And a car also should not remain a status symbol for them. We should change it into a bike. So what we wanted to tell them by designing and implementing a campaign, that you can express yourself while cycling. Cycling is also a method of obtaining a status symbol. You can be fit and healthy, and you don't have to be a sportsman, you don't have to cycle to change that. Cycling is also fashionable, and a car isn't really a status symbol. You are also successful while cycling, and you can feel good about it. So the campaign was created as a cycling competition for the companies, and the cycling competition then, when we are realizing it while a segment project, was not really successful. But now, after 3 years, we are also realizing this competition, and it is really a huge success, and the amount of companies and the number of participants is still growing, and it's really an enormous and positive surprise for us. So we created posters, of course, that were encouraging those companies and employees to join the campaign, to join the cycling competition. That was called I Cycle to Work. And as you can see, the person cycling was really a businessman, was really prestigious, was showing that he's not, a sportsman, but he's just cycling to work in his everyday working clothes. And the surprised woman that is really admiring the guy that he's cycling to work. And as a reward of this cycling competition, we also included a bike service for the participants. They got service bicycles, yes, you can see. We also had company bikes that were bought as a result of this project, and we are using them up till now. And we also have a small campaign called Positive Bicycles. These were simply the bikes that were placed, located in different places in the city, with special cards. And on that card, you could read very funny and positive information about the bike. They were rhyming, and they were just encouraging people to think that a car is really a bike is really a symbol of something fun and great, and not worse than a car, definitely. And colorful bikes were also presented for the people, and they were really bringing attention of people. The people were just standing and observing them, and I think they liked them. And the third group among the new workers were car contemplators that were really hard to convince to move because they didn't want to use the bike. Yeah, they didn't want to use public transport, and they were not really interested in the ecology issues. But what was really a positive case among them was that they are not car owners. So we wanted them to keep the status quo, not to buy a car and not to dream about having a car. And we wanted them to feel that car isn't a sign of success. And they should feel happy and good about themselves when not having a car. They should feel relaxed when traveling by the public transport or walking simply. And they should not envy car drivers. And they should not perceive a car as giving them independence. We should convince them that a bus can give them independence and mobility. To the same extent as a car, and that they can feel relaxed in a bus. They can really be mobile. And as a result, those that were traveling by the public transport were given vouchers for Starbucks, coffee, and really it turned out to be a success. I guess, yeah, that would be all because some slides were missing, so I would need to finish my presentation sometime earlier. So thank you for your attention, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Okay, thank you very much, Karolina, for this very interesting presentation. First of all, I would like to apologize for the problem with your presentation. It turns out that during changing PPT into PDF, some slides went missing. I don't know how it happened because it never happened to me before. Anyway, the fault is mine, and I really apologize. But I will make sure that when we will disseminate the presentations to the speaker, I will make sure that the presentation that we publish and that we send will be complete. As a general comment, I would like to really draw your attention to this good practice. It was really interesting because it was focusing on the biggest problem that actually people have with changing behavior of transport users, of energy users. So the difference, the gap between what the people know and what the people are actually doing. So just raising awareness, training, teaching, giving some information, giving opportunities is not enough. We have to also work to actually change the habits, the practical everyday habits, which is not easy. But as we can see here, it was pretty successful. So I think this is really a good and inspirational example for other cities in Europe. Okay, now we still have some time before the next presentation. So again, I would like to ask the participants if they have any questions for Karolina, or maybe some comments, or maybe you would also like to share your own experience in this matter. So no questions for now from the audience? Okay, so it seems that everybody is leaving their questions for the end of the meeting. So maybe I will have one question for you. You said that to start the segmentation and preparation of the campaign, you did quite a big questionnaire for 3 target groups. Could you please tell us a bit more about how did you get to get so many answers? How did you approach the target groups? How did you act with them? Because from experience of many of our municipalities, actually getting feedback from the society is quite difficult, especially when there are, well, the questionnaires are so complex. So can you give us some advice about it?
While we wait for Carolina's answer, please note that we also have received a question for the audience, so I will read it out loud after this.
Okay. I haven't seen
Okay, hello, can you hear me?
Yes?
Could you please repeat the question?
Sorry, okay. It was the question about how did you manage to get so many answers for your questionnaires? Because from the experience of our municipalities, it's quite difficult to get feedback from the citizens, especially when the questionnaires are so long. So how did you do it?
So we had a marketing company involved, an external marketing company, and they were just obliged to go to schools directly, to go to the health centers, to the companies, and just conduct the surveys for us. So they managed to do so. They went directly and just did it. Of course, they left the questionnaires for some time and just collected them after, I don't know, 2 weeks or a month's time, because they needed some time, yeah, to respond. It was not a response at a place, because it takes some time to respond for 15 pages of a A4 size questionnaire, but we managed. So yes, it was a success for us.
Okay, so we have one question from the audience.
Two, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. Both from Mariano. Is asking, was this project the result of a general call, or did it start after you proposed carrying it out to the funders? And then, in addition, are the Aberdeen University questionnaire freely available?
So the first question is that, yeah, it was a general call. It was a general call, and London Borough Council was our coordinator, so we got a proposal from them, and we just joined the consortium. And no, the questionnaires created by Aberdeen are not freely available, but we developed so-called golden questions, so a kind of a summary of the questionnaire that can also possibly detect the segments, and they are freely available. As far as I know, Utrecht is using them successfully in the campaign. So if you're interested in those golden questions, just contact me or just someone from the segment consortium too.
Okay, I don't see any other questions at the moment.
Okay, so I think we will move to another presentation. If you still will come up with some questions for Carolina or Monica before, then there will be still time at the end of the meeting to ask them. And now we are going to another example from Gdynia, which, as you can see now, is working very much on the transport and mobility sector, and tries to act on different levels and different areas of operation, which is very good, because actually, if you want to get some real results in the long term, you need to have something more than just single actions, but integrated actions, focusing on different target groups and focusing on different areas of activity. So now I give the floor to Mrs. Marta Woronovich from the Trolleybus Communication Enterprise in Gdynia, who will tell you a bit more about the project focusing on increasing attractiveness and energy efficiency of trolleybus system in Gdynia. Marta, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you very much for this nice welcome words. Can you hear me right?
Yes.
Lovely. So once again, I'm Marta Woronovich, and I'm a project coordinator in the public transport operator, trolleybus transport operator in Gdynia. Nice welcome from a club in Gdynia. So in my presentation, I'm going to tell you about two solutions introduced within the Civitas Dynamo project, which is just finishing, so it's very recent. So just a brief overview of the Dynamo project. It is co-financed within the 7th framework program Siglas2 Plus2 initiative. There is a consortium of 28 partners, and there are 2 leading cities and 2 learning cities. The main objectives of the project was the development of innovative transport systems and services, introduction and reinforcement of ecological means of transport, engaging citizens in sustainable mobility, and cooperation and experience exchange between the partners. As for us, as for our company, we had 2 tasks within the project which were successfully completed. The first one was the introduction of an innovative hybrid trolley bus with a new type of lithium-ion battery, which would run off traction without the overhead wires. So we purchased 2 such trolley buses, and they arrived in our company in March 2015. And after positive off-grid tests, one of the lines, regular lines, was extended on the section, on the 2-kilometer section, to run off the wires. So basically, the trolley bus lowers the pantographs and goes for 2 kilometers without the traction. This line is a regular line. It's regularly serviced, and it was first it was to be the test line that would only run until the end of in the warm season from May to October. However, after some public consultation, it turned out that citizens are so satisfied with this connection that we decided that the Public Transport Authority decided to keep it as a regular line. So thanks to this successful test, there are other expansions planned for the trolley bus system, and this demonstration allowed us to enter into another interesting European Union project, electrification of public transport in cities, basing on existing infrastructure. So the new lines that are going to be introduced is the line to a highly populated district of Gdynia, Fikakowo, and the novelty is that there's now being built the external charging point for electric vehicles, which is a novelty there. So the electric trolley bus could also charge there. Within Elliptic, we are also going to introduce one more extension to the bordering city of Sopot, which is also serviced by trolley buses, and we are going to have the line extended to the sports stadium, and on the loop there is also going to be another external charging point. So this is kind of important because this test proved successful, and it's a great way of expanding electric public transport without the necessity of building costly wired infrastructure. So lithium-ion technology gives quite so cost-effective and proven way of extending electric transport in the city. So there are plans of, for example, of replacing diesel bus lines with lithium-ion trolley buses, which would of course contribute to the air quality within the city. Some added value could be that of this measure could be that it sets a national and European showcase of innovative technologies applied realistically and with a positive result. Just to show you the new trolley bus. So it has got all the modern technological innovations. The alternative power supply, the lithium-ion battery, allows these 2 trolley buses regular off-traction operation up to 15 kilometers. However, after the purchase of 2 lithium-ion trolley buses within Civitas Dynamo, we were so satisfied with the performance that with our own funds, we bought one more vehicle with the same battery size and three more vehicles with the double battery size, so we can cover even longer distances. And just to give you an example, just today, in cooperation with the city of Gdynia, we organized a trip for the school, which won the cycling competition in May. The trip by the trolley bus on battery to the nearby airport, which is a long distance from here, and I guess it's a kind of nice way of promoting this public transport too. Just a moment. The battery is located at the back of the vehicle, so it takes up the back space. Yes, and another measure that introduced within Civitas Dynamo is the way of storing extra energy. So it improves the general energy efficiency within our system. On one of our substations, we installed a so-called supercapacitor, which is a device which stores electric energy that we recover from braking of the trolley bus. It is fully working since April 2014. At the moment, it's saving about 12% of the electric energy on the section. It would save more if more trolley buses would be equipped with recuperative braking system. At the moment, over 50% of the fleet is equipped with this system. We are planning to replace all the vehicles with the ones equipped with the energy recuperation system. So this percentage would probably, for sure, will go higher. Just to tell you a little bit more about this device, this is the substation where it is placed. It has got both internal and external parts, and some technical data. Energy capacitance is the most important factor, 1.56 kilowatt hours. Yeah, I wouldn't go into that much detail. Yeah, but I'll just to tell you a little bit about the way how the device operates. So, and to give you some lessons learned to other cities, we placed the supercapacitor in one of our substations, which is located in the hilly area of Gdynia. The reason is that in the hilly area there is a lot of braking, so a lot of braking energy goes back to the network. Wielkopolska Street is not there is not very high traffic in Wielkopolska Street, so there are not many trolley buses on the section that could take this energy, consume this energy, which another trolley bus gives back to the traction network. So a lot of energy was just lost in the resistor as heat. So it was irreversibly lost. Thanks to the supercapacitor, this energy is stored by the supercapacitor, and when there is another trolley bus in need of power, it just gives the energy back to the network. However, in some central areas, it wouldn't be so effective because there are many trolley buses running, and they use the recuperation energy on a regular basis. So maybe another area predisposed for this location would be, we discussed, could be Sopot, where it's a little bit hilly too, and the traffic is not so, of trolley buses is not so high. But certainly it's very effective in the place where it is located now. Yes, you can see the results of the recuperation of energy in the whole year 2015, before and after the installation of the supercapacitor. So it clearly shows that it brings us some real savings. In the it's also for the public. On the substation, we have got this information board, which shows us the number of kilowatt hours saved, recovered, thanks to the supercapacitor, and the kilograms of CO2 emissions limitation. As for our plans for the future, and I already mentioned that we purchased 4 more vehicles with lithium-ion battery, allowing us for off-traction courses. So that we can say that battery trolley buses are both trolley buses and electric buses in one. And we are interested in buying even more from nationally governed funds. We have now applied, together with the city of Gdynia, we have now applied for 30 more vehicles with lithium-ion batteries, including 16 articulated 18-meter trolley buses. So far, we have only 12-meter buses. And we also want to exchange the nickel-cadmium batteries that are only emergency batteries to lithium-ion batteries in 21 of our vehicles. I mentioned also some realistic plans for further unwired extensions and increasing the percentage of electric public transport share in the city of Gdynia. The first one would be in winter 2017. Then the next one after the one introduced within Civitas Dynamo. And also the building of charging points for electric vehicles, which is a novelty. I would also like to mention that at the moment we are also working on the application to build photovoltaic panels on the roof of our depot, 5,000 square meters, and we are planning to feed our depot with the solar energy, as well as the remains would be also feeded to the network. So thank you very much for listening to me. I hope you found this presentation interesting, and I guess that some cities could learn from our experience. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much for this interesting and definitely inspiring presentation. As we can see, there are a lot of possibilities of increasing energy efficiency of public transport. We only have to look for them and make use of them the best we can, and this is a very good example. So once again, congratulations and good luck for your future activities and future ideas. Again, now we have some time for comments or questions from the audience. If there are any, then please feel free to ask either using chat or by raising your hand. No questions for now? Okay.
No, we actually do. I'm reading one.
Okay, because I don't see it.
Right now. No, it's actually not a question, but a comment coming from Mariano, who says, a man riding a bus to work at the age of 26 may count himself as a failure. Margaret Thatcher. Okay, thank you for the nice note, Mariano.
So we are trying to change this view now within our project. Okay, so thank you very much once again, Marta. And here you have Marta's email address on the slide. So if you will also come up with some questions later, you can always write her and ask her. And now we are coming to our last presentation. This time we are switching the mode of transport from trolley buses to bikes. So basically, we all want people to start riding bikes. We want to invite them to use this environmentally friendly mean of transport more often, and that's why more and more cities are considering implementation of the bike rental system for their citizens. The idea is very nice. It seems simple, but when it comes to its execution, then it turns out that many questions arise and many problems arise. So, for example, where to locate bike rental stations? What are the best places? How many bike rental stations to place? How to make the bike rental and return system the easiest for the citizens? How to develop the financing scheme? So there are many questions that need to be answered, and I guess that we can learn many good answers from the representative of the city of Zagreb, Mrs. Darinka Jak, who will present the bicycle rent network in Zagreb now. Darinka, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I would like to say hello to the all women. Do you recognize we all panelists are women? I don't know why, because for me in mobility I always need the man, and I think that's great news. There's so many women involved in sustainable mobility, and probably they will change a lot of things. Thank you for that. I will try to explain today a little bit about our approach to development of the rent network, bicycle rent network in Zagreb. It's not easy, like Patricia said before. It's so many questions when you start, and maybe it's the best way to try, of course. Yeah. The last year we participated for the first time in European Cycling Challenge, and I think that's a very good program because it's a good way to motivate citizens to cycle daily, to use their bikes to go to school, work, and it's very important for us to collect the data. You can see on the heat map that 895 citizens rode their bikes during May, just for 1 month, in almost all of the streets of Zagreb. When we're planning to build the infrastructure or to put the station, bike station where we put it, I think we must have very exactly data. And if you see the map from this year or for heat maps from the last year, you will see we need the bikes in every street. What does it mean? They cycled 42,802 kilometers and saved almost 9 tons of CO2. When we speak about the fresh air or how to live, quality of the life in the city, I think that's a very, very good data what we collect from our participation in European Cycling Challenge. Okay. On the last map, we collected the opinions of our citizens from another project. It's called FUPOL, where they want the bike station. And on the right map, you can see where we have stations where you can take a next bike, and exist more places where you can rent bike. On this left map, now you just can see the station of the next bike. I will explain later. Yes. Sorry for this, and I have a problem like Carolina with the slides. The biggest system we have is Next Bike with 20 stations and 100 bikes. The first 30 minutes is free, and 1 hour is about €1. 1 day is about €10. One-time activation for the card is at €10. Up until today, there have been 10,000 registrations. But the next bike is not Croatia company, is not company from Zagreb. Next bike is a German company that develops and operates public bike sharing systems. The company was founded, I think, before 12 years. And in Croatia, it's a private company who take this system from Next Bike, and they worked the last 3 years. We call it like a pilot project. It's very important. We didn't make any, try to do something. We take something what it's worked in the more of the 100 towns in the Europe. And this Next Bike, this private company in city of Zagreb, and the city of Zagreb provided free access to public space in the city during the pilot project phase. That's a good base, and we will decide during the next year on in which direction we will go to have the to all will be in win-win situation, and the private and the public interest. But that's not all. They dance, they ride the bike, the slides ride the bikes, I think. Blue Bike specialized in guided tours of the city, but only has rented bikes. They have 30 bikes available, and it is interested to work throughout the year, and also in winter, as opposed to Next Bike, which does not operate it in January. For us, like a local government, it's very important to have the bikes on the streets during the all year. Why is so fast? And Pedal is located in the city center and has 50 bikes for rent, but unlike Next Bike, the bikes have to be returned to the same place where you borrowed bike, and we know that's not so perfect, and that's bad. And of course, in our city, in the city of Zagreb, most bicycle shops and services also rent bicycles, as do most of the hostels. The price is a little bit higher from Next Bike. It's from 5 euros for an hour or 15 euros for a day. But Zagreb is located at the foot of the mountain Medvednica, and it's possible to rent mountain bikes and electric bikes within the nature park on the mountain. That's it's very, very good. That's put it like more 30 places where you can rent a bike. But it's a shame because you must bring this bike on the same place, and it's not so good for citizens. This is a bike in the room or apartment with bicycle. This is a slightly unusual example, as the owner of this apartment is a former cyclist, so his apartment called Red Bike Points. And in fact, in some hostels with accommodation in Zagreb, in 5 of 40 of them, you can use the free bikes. That's very important for us, like, because we start to development cycle tourism the last few years in Zagreb too, and I think it's a good approach to give the people to use free bikes, because all rent bikes we must pay. And this all three combination is very important for the citizens. My bike, rent a bike, or share bike. I think it's very important to develop access to bikes in different and parallel ways. This encourages people to ride and provides them with choices and also the possibility of combination. For example, if for some reasons I don't have my own bike, today I can use the one that I have available in the office, or I just rent a bike and I will take the next bike. In any case, the reason for not cycling should not be the unavailability of bikes. I think that's the most important when we develop the system. Policemen, postmen, street cleaners who use the bicycle for everyday work are not part of the rental network, but they are future of our city, and I think it's very important in this part of the sharing bikes. In the office where I work, we have a room which is something like a warehouse, landfill for things. There are 3 different bikes that can be used if necessary. Sometimes even the mayor used one of these city bikes, and I think that's very important for us, like a local authority, to show how we can not just build the infrastructure to build the bike station or to educate it, but in use in every day. That's all. Thank you for attention. I said thanks. Yes.
Thank you very much, Darinka, for this interesting presentation. So as you can see, implementation of the bike rental system is not that easy, but it's possible to do it in a very good and efficient way. And you can always, if you want, you can always contact Darinka and ask her for some practical advice. For me, what is very important also in this, what's very important in this presentation is implementation of the idea that if you want to change the world, you have to start from yourself. So it's very good that the city is implementing this solutions also in their own premises, inviting their own employees or municipal services to also use bikes in everyday work. So congratulations for that. And now we have quite some time for questions, if there are any, for any of the speakers that gave the presentations today. So you can take few seconds, few minutes to think, and if you have any question, please ask them either by raising your hand or by using chat function.
I think something came through, just a moment. Okay. So we have another question from Mariano, who is incredibly active today. Thank you very much, Mariano. We appreciate it. So, hi. How have you managed the possible conflict with local rent-a-bike businesses?
There's not conflict, because I think it's enough place, and this company, Next Bike, what is a public bike, is a private. And I think everyone has a place. It's not, you know, the quality of the bikes in, like in some services and bike shops is different. And they rent a bike more to the tourists, not to the citizens, but because they come back on the same place. This public Next Bike system don't have, I think, any conflict situation, because you must be registered, you must give the credit card, and etc. for the development, but you can just come in the center city, in the garage, in the bike shop, and rent a bike with your passport or just card and bring it back. Sometimes the people use them this way because it's easy for them. They need it just for this week or day. And I think they, by my information, when I talked with these rental people, they are pleased, everyone. Till now, I don't know in the future.
Thank you for this comment. Are there any other questions for any other speakers? there is still some time, there is still some opportunity to ask or comment on what you heard today from the panel.
I don't see any raised hands for the moment. No questions.
Okay, so Georgia, just correct me if I'm wrong. All the presentations that we heard today, they will be published on the Mayors in Action website. We will also send the links to the participants, so you will be able to download them to maybe digest the information a bit again. And each presentation includes contact details of the presenters, so if you will come up with some questions later on, you will be always able to write them and ask the questions directly.
Yeah, I confirm they will be uploaded in the webinar section of our Mayors in Action website at www.mayorsinaction.eu. You can also find all the outputs of the previous webinars that were held in the past 2 years. So we warmly encourage you to have a look at all the materials that is available there.
Okay, so then if there are no other questions, I would like to first of all thank all the panelists for this very interesting and inspiring presentations. As we can see, there are very many ideas on how to deal with traffic problems in cities, but what we can see from these presentations is that we need to always act on different levels to complement one action with another. So on one hand, we have to work on improving energy efficiency, improving accessibility, and improving quality of public transport to make people more keen to use it. On the other hand, we need to work like Gdynia on optimization of the transport flow within a city, also by implementation intelligent traffic management system. And also, which is very important and still very difficult, we need to work on changing behaviors and changing mobility patterns of the citizens, which, as we said, is quite challenging due to the fact that people, even if they have knowledge and they consider themselves environmentally aware, usually they do not implement these ideas into their everyday life. But still, there are some ideas, like again from Gdynia, how we can work on this gap between knowledge and practice. So as I said before, there were some inspirational, good examples presented today, and we invite you to contact the panelists if you wish, ask for more specifics, and they will be happy to help you with some guidance. So thank you again for all the panelists. Thank you for all the participants, for your attention and for your interest in this topic. I would also like to, at the very end, tell you that at the Mayors in Action website, which is shown in the right down corner of the slide, so www.mayorsinaction.eu, and there is an interesting and freely available handbook that we develop within the project that focuses on implementation of different types of actions included in CAPs or other energy strategies implemented by cities. So we have different chapters focusing, for example, on thermal retrofitting of public buildings, of involving citizens in energy-related actions, on sustainable transport, on group purchases and stuff. So you can look at the handbook, look at the actions that are interesting for you, and find there some also inspiring ideas, inspiring highlights, inspiring guidelines, how to practically implement different types of actions. So I would also like to encourage you to visit the website and check the material there. Once again, thank you for your attention, and we would also like to invite you for the future to join our next webinars, which will be done still this year. We will send, of course, invitation to all the participants. So thank you. This is it from my side. Georgia, I don't know if you want to add something.
No, thank you very much to all the speakers, and to you, Patrizia, for the amazing moderation, and a big round of virtual applauses to everyone, and looking forward to seeing you again online soon with us.
Okay, so thank you very much and goodbye.
See you. Right, bye. See you. Jaz rekla see you, gotovo. Da.